Python libraries. Module. Modularity. It means the act of portioning a program into individual components. Modules logically organize our Python code. In module, we are grouping related code into a module makes the code easier to understand. Module can define functions, variables, and classes. A module is a normal .py file. Example: module math is math.py file. Module random is random.py file. Library. Library is a collection of modules. Library caters to a specific type of recruitment. Python standard library Python standard libraries are math, random, matplotlib, tkinter, numpy, urlib. Structure of Python module. Docstring, triple-quoted comments, useful for documentation, used in a function or class or before the function or class. Variable and constants, label for data. Classes, blueprint to create objects, objects instance of classes, statements, instructions, functions, named group of instructions. Example module fun.py, function.py. A function is a block of code that performs a specific code. There are two types of functions in Python programming language: standard library functions, user-defined functions. In the first, standard library functions, these are built-in functions in Python that are available to use. User-defined functions, we can create our own functions based on our requirements. For example, def greet. Def greet here, def is used as it is a function used to define a function. You define a user-defined function. Greet is a user-defined function. Under the function, we use print hello and hashtag call the function greet prints outside function. Dir and help. Python will display all string along module name and function and name constant. The dir function returns all the properties and methods of the specified object without the values. This function will return all the properties and methods, even built-in properties which are default and object. Help help on built-in function POV in module built-ins. Help function is used to get the function documentation of specified module, class, function, variable, etc. This method is generally used in Python interpreter console to get details about Python objects. The above examples are for dir. Example is import math dir math that after using the function, uh, all the properties, objects, values are shown in the list: doc, loader, name, package, spec, a cos h, a sin h, a tan 2, etc. etc. And in help POV is given. POV base exp module is equals to none. Mod is equals to none. Base exponent equivalent to base double star ext with argument, or x double star ext modulus with 3 arguments. Namespace. Namespace is a collection of currently defined symbolic names along with information about the object that each name references. You can think of a space as a dictionary in which the keys are the object names, and the values are the objects themselves. Example, VR1 is 5. A function is defined some function. It is VR1 is a global namespace. VR some function VR2 is a local namespace, and uh, and another function is defined some inner function. VR3 is a nested local namespace. Importing modules in Python program in three ways. Importing entire module, importing selected function or object from a module, importing all functions, objects of a module. First method of importing a module, importing entire module. Import math, for example, in a Python code, in a Python interpreter, import import function in Python. Import is a keyword. Math. We are importing math, and you're finding the square root of 4. Here, square root is the another object or the another property or feature of the math module, math library. Dot operator. Here we access the property of the square root by using the dot function, and square root of 4 is 2. Processing processing of import module. Code of imported module is interpreted and executed. Defined function and variables created in the module are now available. A new namespace is set up, same name as module. Second method is importing module. Importing second function and object from a module. From math import square. From math import square, print square root 4. Here it is same as, but we are using the specific function of the math module. From math from math module we are importing square root into square root, and importing from math import square root and power. Print square root of 4, output is 2, and print power of 3 comma 2, and here 3 is the base and 2 is the exponent. Processing of from module import object of function. Code of imported module is interpreted and executed. Only asked function and variables are now available. No new namespaces is created. No namespaces is created. Imported definitions is added in the current names. Example, from math import square d is equals to square root 4, printed in output 4. Third method of importing module. Import all the function import all function objects of a module. From math import star. Here from math we are importing everything. Print square root of 4, print power. Direct, we don't have to use the dot function to specify the square root of power. We are directly importing all the objects of the module using Python built-in functions. The one of the built-in functions are int round x. Yeah. For example, x is equal to 4.4451. Output will be 4 because int built-in function only takes the integer and cuts the decimal numbers. And in round off, this function rounds off the number for the specific number, this which is 1. 1 means 5. the first position. 0, 1, 2, 1. X is equal to 7. Oct, hex, octal number. If x is equal to 1, octal number of x is 0 over 1, 3. And hex number 0xb. Using Python string built-in function, the string function converts values of a string form so they can be combined with other strings. The print function normally prints out one or more Python items followed by a new line. Print.join. Print double star dot join. Output h double star e double star l double star hello. Note, now we can see only tuple. We can't use string. Given sequence should have all values as string. Using string built-in function split split using split we can split the numbers as a list. Replace built-in function. Here we can replace a word from the string. Random module. Python random module Python random module is an inbuilt module of Python which is used to generate random numbers. These are pseudo-random numbers, which means these are not truly random. This module can be used to perform random actions such as generating random numbers, print random a value of list for a list or a string. It returns a random number in range 0.1 to 1.0. In this word means limit equals returns float 14 megabytes. Import random, print random dot random. Output is given here. In other random, it is another property of random. It returns a random. Random int is an inbuilt function of the random module in Python 3. The random module gives access to various useful functions, and one of them being able to generate random numbers, which is randint. Example is given below. Using web module open. The Python function open function is used to open internally stored files. It returns the contents of the file as Python objects. Open. It opens a website in window in a computer. Import web browser. A browser is open. We have opened www.google.com. Using URLLB IB module. URLLB package is the URL handling module for Python. It is used to fetch URLs, uniform resource locators. It uses the URL open function and is able to fetch URLs using a variety of different protocols. URLLB is a package that collects several modules for working with URLs such as urllib.request for opening and reading, dot parse for parsing URLs, dot error for exceptions raised, for dot robot parser for parsing robot.txt files. URLLib request URL open, read get code get URL headers.info. Using more request.url open, it opens a website for reading and returns a file using which other functions will be used. Returns HTML, HTTP cost. Metadata. This is the example of the previous slides. Creating a Python library. Library and package are used interchangeably. Interchangeably, package. Package is a collection of Python modules. Common namespace packages place different modules on a single dictionary directory. Init.py must be present. Init means initialize. Procedure for creating a Python library. Find site package folder in Python installation folder. Create a folder, example abc library.or package. Create init.py file in package. Create module, example xyz.py. Write function in xy.py. Import a module from a library or package from abc import xyz. The sys module. The sys module in Python provides various functions and variables that are used to manipulate different parts of the Python runtime environment. It allows operating on the interpreter as it provides access to the variables and functions that interact strongly with the interpreter. Import sys, print sys.py. This shows where the files are located, where the Python files stored, and its libraries are stored.